Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us for today's session of the Run at the Rate 100 webinar series, an initiative by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Board of Studies Operation, to celebrate excellence, ignite insight, and empower the next generation of finance professionals. So I want to introduce our Chairman, Board of Studies Operation, CA Dr. Rohit Watia ji. CA Dr. Rohit Watia ji is an iconic Central Council member of ICAI and currently serving as chairman of the Board of Studies Operation. Dedicated to student empowerment, he is committed to modernizing TA education for digital platform, innovative learning methods, and industry-related training, making him a key force in redefining the future of CA profession. Now I want to introduce the Vice Chairman, sir, CA Sanjeev Sanghi. CA Sanjeev Sanghi, a seasoned chart accountant with over 26 years of experience, currently serving as the Vice Chairman of the Board of Studies Operation, ICAI. As a Central Council member, he is widely respected for his leadership in digital transformation, capacity building, and professional development. Known for his visionary approach, he is committed to empowering young professionals, enhancing auditor ethics, and strengthening ICAI global presence through innovation and inclusive growth. I want to introduce speaker. Sir. Today's session is an exciting one and a truly essential skill in the modern financial world. Today's topic is fearless focus. CA Abhijit Singh is a qualified chartered accountant with professional experience at KPMG. He is founder of AS Oberoi and Company, a chartered accountancy firm specializing in taxation, finance, and auditing. He has represented the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India as a public speaker and panelist on various national and international platforms. He is prominent member of the District Taxation Bar Association and the Indirect Taxation Consultant Association. He has served as guest faculty and taught skill trainer at Punjab Agriculture University and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Let us give a warm welcome to CA Abhijit Singh. Over to Abhijit. Please, sir. You are on mute. Unmute, please.
Hello. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਲਿਖੋ ਟੈਕਸ ਹੈਲੋ what is the income tax hello
Yes.
sir from my side is it okay?
Yes, it is okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much sir for a very good, very warm welcome. So firstly, before starting the session, I would like to welcome everyone who has joined this session. Before starting, I would like to ask one simple question. Like, what is the weight of this class? Is it a lightweight thing or a heavyweight thing? So the answer doesn't lies in the grams. It lies in for how much time do I hold it. If you hold it for a minute, it feels very light. If you hold it for an hour, your arm starts to ache. If you hold it for all day, your arm becomes numb and paralyzed. The pain becomes unbearable. Now think about this. The weight of the glass never changed. It was same 200 or 300 grams all along. But the longer you held it, the heavier it felt. That's how stress works. In your CA journey, or frankly in life, stress is like the glass of water. Your problems, your fears of exam, your anxiety about results, your comparisons with others, all of them are like the glass. If you hold them for a short while and let it go, they're manageable. But if you carry them all day, all week, all month without putting them down, they start to weight you down. They drain your energy, your motivation, and your confidence. So, with that, Everyone, I am sharing the screen. Please let me know, sir, if it is visible or not. Is the screen changing? Okay. So yes, let's again begin the story of glass from here. As I told you, the glass weight didn't change at all. It depends for how much time you held it in that period. You see, being stronger doesn't mean holding on forever. Being strong means when to knowing when to pause, when to breathe, and when to put that glass down. So the question is, are you ready to let go for a bit, to refresh yourself before picking it up again? So asking a normal question, that do you think that CA is difficult? Yes, of course, it is. But the question arises, you knew in the starting that yes, CA is going to be difficult for you. When you first realized that yes, you are going to do CA, at that time you changed. You were not a normal human being. You transformed yourself as to top 1% or 2% of the most knowledgeable persons present on this planet. So how many of you have had those days when you studied for hours, but at the end of the day felt like you learned nothing? That's not because you are incapable. That's because your mind was tired of holding the glass too long. That's why you need to put the glass down, take a break, reset, and pick it up again with fresh energy. Now, let's talk about how to put the glass down practically. You need to take short breaks, you need to disconnect to reconnect, and you need to sleep. You need to have a good sleep. Now, what are the difficulties that you are facing in your CA journey? Let's talk about what makes it tough. Not to complain, but to acknowledge what you are already surviving. The articleship phase. You're working full time like a professional, handling audits, vouching, verification, invoices, client deadlines. And then, after a long day, you come home and open your books. While others of your age are finishing college and relaxing, you are chasing audit reports and balance sheet. That's not easy. That's commitment. Second is managing the classes. You wake up before sunrise to attend early morning classes, half afraid, but still trying to absorb new concepts. Then you go to work, come back tired, and still have to revise. Your day doesn't have 24 hours. It is having full 16-hour power pack pressure. And yet you keep going. The syllabus itself, the syllabus of ICI is massive, covering accounting, auditing, taxation, law, costing, finance, ethics, and what not. It's not just about studying, it's about understanding 10 different profession roles into one qualification. Each subject could be easily be a degree of its own. That's why when people say CA is tough, it's not just an exam, it's an entire lifetime. Fourth one is emotional and social pressure. You miss family events, festivals, trips because there's always something to revise. People ask, still not cleared, as if effort guarantees result in one. You say, you stay quiet, smile, and get back to your things. The silent resilience. That's the true spirit of a CA student. Fifth, uncertainty. Even after doing your best, results sometimes don't reflect your hard work. That unpredictability breaks many. But the ones who stand up again, those are the future chartered accountants. Am I right, sir? So now let's talk about how to cope up with those pressure. As I mentioned earlier, take short breaks. After every few hours of intense study, take a genuine 15 to 20 minutes break. Don't scroll Instagram. Do something that releases your mind. Walk, stretch, listen to calm music, or just sit silently. Let your brain breathe. Second is disconnect to reconnect. Have 1 hour daily where you completely disconnect to your phone. No social media, no CA talk. You will be amazed to see that how 1 hour can recharge your focus for the remaining 23. Sleep is steady. Don't get me wrong. Your brain consolidates memory when you sleep. Many students underestimate this, drinking, thinking, I'll sacrifice sleep for studies. But in reality, you are reducing your retention and recall. Rest is not a waste of time, it's part of preparation. End each day with gratitude. Before sleeping, remind yourself of what you accomplished. No matter how small. I studied 2 chapters. I revised one topic. Every step matters. Every step counts. So, basically, why we all have stress? As I discussed earlier, let me summarize it. First is there is plenty of syllabus to cover. Second is fear of unknown. What if I have studied this concept and something else comes in exams? Third is comparison with the peers. You see your friend has done 5 revisions. You see your friend has done 3 revisions. You see your friend going to attend a mock test series and you are not. Fourth, lack of confidence. When you are when you study, when you revise a thing, you are not able to recall it. So again, you are having lack of confidence. Now, these feelings are not a sign of weakness. They are signs that you deeply care about things. Acknowledging them is a first step towards overcoming them. Now, in life or in CA exams, every time, whenever you face a problem or whenever you are in stress, there are only 2 situations. Now, what are these situations? First is you have a solution for that. The second is you don't have a solution for that, or the things which are not controllable to you. Now, if you have a solution for the same, sir, is the slide, sir, is the slide on? Okay, okay, okay. So situation one, you have a solution, or situation two, you don't have a solution, or things are not in your control. Now think about it. If you already have a solution, what's the point of worrying? Just act on it, execute your plan, and move ahead. Worrying doesn't make the plan better. Action does. And if you don't have a solution, or the things are not in your control, even then worrying doesn't help. Because in that case, your job is not to stress, it's to search for alternatives, ask for help, experiments with new approaches. Let's take few examples from our CA life. You couldn't complete your revision on time. It happens with everyone. Now, 2 choices: either sit down and feel guilty the entire day, or take a notebook, rework your plan, adjust tomorrow's target, and keep moving. Progress will come, perfection will come. You got low marks in your mock test, your confidence drops. Now, does worrying those marks change anything? No. Instead, analyzing your mistakes, understanding the pattern, and fixing the gaps, they will.
Excuse me,
Because
पीछे कुछ नॉइज आ रहा है थोड़ा. बच्चे का है ये किसका है? ये करवा दो. ओके, थैंक.
yes. So, where was I? Yeah. So, I was on an example that you got a low marks in your mock test. Your confidence drops. Now, Does worrying about those marks change anything? No. Instead, analyzing your mistakes, understanding the patterns, and fixing the gaps will. Because every test you fail in saves you from failing in the exam. हमारे टीचर उस टाइम पे कहते होते थे कि जितनी गलतियां करनी है मॉक टेस्ट में कर लो, वो गलतियां आप फिर एग्जाम्स में नहीं करोगे. Your articleship boss overloaded you with work. Classes are running late. Pressure is high. Can you control that workload entirely? No. But you can control how you can manage your time, your attitude, and your energy. Use early mornings. Make small daily goals. Protect your focus. And sometimes you'll face things beyond your control. Exam results delayed, changes in syllabus, paper pattern feel unfair. We'll all be facing that. In those moments, you must remember one thing. If something is in your control, do best to change it. If it's not, do your best to accept it. Worry never improves results. It only steals your peace, your energy, and your focus. The very thing you need to overcome the problem is, so next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, can I do something about it? Then do it. No need to worry. Can I do anything about it? I can't. Then why worry? It's out of your hand anyways. Because the real moment, real control you have is not the over situation. It's over your response. You can't always choose your problem, but you can always choose your perspective. And when you the perspective is right, even the toughest CA paper starts to look like conquerable challenge. So from now, whenever you feel pressure, remember either you have a solution, you can find me. In both cases, worry is never the solution. Now, another thing, let's be honest. Most of us sitting here are toppers once. We were the ones who got 80%, 90%, and even 95% in schools. Teachers praised us. Parents proudly introduced us as my child who always gets distinction. And today, the same students are struggling to get 40% in CA exams. What happened? Did we suddenly
हेलो अभय जी.
मैंने दे दी मैडम, ये ले लो, ले जाओ ना, ये तो साइन करानी है.
वेयर वेयर टेक्निकल इशू. हाँ यस प्लीज. सर वो आउट हो गया. हाँ जी. चला गया, नेट चला गया, उसको वीडियो ही ऑफ हो गई, ऑडियो भी ऑफ हो गई.
बोलो.
हेलो. हाँ. हाँ यस आई एम ट्राइंग टू रीच हिम. हेलो.
दीपक बताओ, दीपक बताओ. हाँ जी. ये तीनों ने.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, I think the connection just break. I have rejoined. Could you please confirm if everything
Hello.
is audible?
Please restart it.
Yes, yes, yes.
What
So,
happened? Sir, was there any technical issue? अभय जी
yes,
थोड़ा पीछे शोर भी आ रहा है उसको भी बंद करो. Please start, sir.
yes. So yes, I was on a phase that what happened when you were in 12th class or 10th class, you were the toppers of the class. You were getting 70 or 80 or even 95% marks in the CA in your class 10th or in class 12th. But when you are in CA, you are you are now struggling to get even 40%. What's the reason? The reason is difference in the mindset and difference in the approach. You were spoon fed in the school. Teachers gave us notes, question banks, and repeated patterns. Even exams were predictable. You studied the textbook and scored well. But in CA, nothing is predictable. You can't mug up. You can't rely on the same patterns. Here, you are tested not on your memory, but on your concepts, your application, and patience. In schools, we studied to score marks, but in CA, you must study to gain understanding. You can't just memorize accounting standards or tax provisions. You need to know how and why they work in the real world. You need to understand logic because ICI loves to test your reasoning. Here, note rote learning fails, deep learning wins. In schools, we had small syllabus, continuous guidance, and regular motivation. Every week, there was a test. Every day, a reminder. A teacher pushed us. Our parents supported us. And our classmates competed with us. But in CA, you are mostly on your own. You are the student, the planner, the motivator, and the teacher, all in one. You must create your own schedule, discipline, and energy. That's why most students don't fail because of lack of knowledge. They fail because of lack of consistency. They start with fire but lose momentum halfway. Fourth difference is in school, failure was not an option because the system was built to help you pass. But in CA, failure is a part of the process. Even brilliant minds fail, not because they aren't capable, but because this exam is designed to test not just of your knowledge, but your endurance. You're not just solving questions, you're solving yourself, your patience, your focus, your mental strength. Everything is tested. The biggest difference is mindset. In school, we studied out of pressure. I must get 95%. In CA, you have to study out of purpose. I want to become a chartered accountant. This exam is not about speed, it's about stability. It's not about intelligence, it's about emotional control. Most students break down not because of paper, but because of fear to failure, the comparison, and the self doubt. They start asking, why me? Instead, the question should be, how can I improve? Let me tell you, every CA you see with this prefix CA before their name once felt exactly like you do today. They also had sleepless nights. They also cried after tough papers. They
Yeah.
also doubted themselves. But the difference is they didn't care.
Okay, फिर बोलो.
That's the difference between
दो
those
बार
who
बोलो.
clear and those who don't. In school, success was just a memory. In CA, success is about mindset, maturity, and mental strength. Coming to the next slide. Now, discussing the exact problems, what are there in ICI's CA journey, what you face in ICI's CA student journey, and how should you conquer it? Now let's begin with the truth that every student here knows. ICI syllabus is enormous. When you first open that study material or glance through all the subjects, it's intimidating. It feels like you don't have enough hours to finish everything. How many of you have opened your books, read the first few pages, and then wondered, where do I even begin? I'm sure many of you have done that. That's the feeling we all go through. But remember, the problem is not in the syllabus itself. The problem is that we try to attack it one giant block. What we need to do instead is to break it down. We need to see the syllabus not as a not as a mountain, but as a collection of small manageable climbs. And there's something most student includes. The ICI itself help you prioritize. If you go on ICI's website, you'll find skill-wise and section-wise weightage for every subject. Sir, if you say, could I show the students where is basically that ICI skill-wise weightage? Yeah, I think there is no need, but yes, if you go on the BOS portal of ICI, you'll find that there is skill wise section or section wise weightage for every subject. Now, if I give you an example for that, if you check the AFM skill wise weightage, you will see that every chapter has 15 to 20% of the weightage given by the ICI. Now, for example, there are two chapters in AFM subject, Forex and Portfolio Management, which covers enormous amount of the syllabus, but they come as same marks as the mutual fund or security valuation chapter comes. Now, what I mean to say is, Forex will also come for 8 to 10 marks in the AFM exam. And security valuation and mutual fund will also come for 8 to 10 marks. So instead of focusing on that high chunk of the AFM module, you should focus on the easier chunk of the AFM module. Yes, I know these two chapters are tough, but they just cover 16 to 20 marks of the total 100 marks of which AFM will become. Why are we not focusing on the leftover 80% of the mark, 80% of the syllabus? First, we should focus it. We should strategize what ICI what ICI is going to ask in your CA exams. That's not a random information. That's a strategy goal. It literally tells you what ICI values most, where more marks come from, and the skills they are testing. I have already given you example. And that's what I call smart study planning. Not studying harder, but studying intelligently. So, step one in mission consistency is breaking the subject into small parts. Use ICI's own weighted chart as your guide. Focus where the impact is maximum, because when you study based on strategy, you turn anxiety into your actions. Second is you need to know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. There should be self-analysis. Now, what do I mean by that is every CA student is unique. We all know that. Some of you are great with numbers. Others are great in knowledge. Some are great in logic. Some are amazing memory based. Some are good in amazing memory based subjects. Now, before we create a plan, we must know ourselves. Ask yourself two questions: what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Because once you know these are these your directions becomes clear. Let's say you're strong in law and weak in FR. That doesn't mean you ignore law. It means you use it as your confidence booster and you allocate extra time to strengthen your weak areas. A simple chart on your wall with a strong and weak columns can completely change how you approach your studies. And here's another important step: finalize your study material. Yes, finalizing your study material. Choose choose your main success. ICA material notes from your faculty, maybe one summary book, and then lock them in. Once finalized, don't switch. Changing material midway is like changing your GPS while driving. You'll keep rerouting and lose time. Consistency with one set of books build mastery. So make your decision once and trust it. You can always add supporting notes to a tricky topics, but your foundation should remain fixed. Remember this: the book that's finished is better than the books that's perfect. So my other thing is, whenever we talk about our long-term goal. What's your long-term goal? Most of us will answer is to see word pass on our result sheet, to finally add CA before RB. That's the dream we all are chasing. But where many students make mistake, they focus only on the final goal and forget the journey. If you stay too long at a mountain peak, you never reach to that peak. So instead, the long term let's break the long term dream into the short term battles. Think like the army. The army doesn't capture an entire country in one day. They have a plan, a long term mission broken into short term tactical wins. That's why I call this the soldier strategy or the operation consistency. हमने सुना है ना, कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा, कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा. You move forward little by little every day, no matter how small the step. You don't need to sprint, you just need to march consistently. You win small battles every day. One chapter, one test, one revision, and together those victory wins the war. That's how topper are made. Not by last minute magic, but by consistent effort. So, from today, shift your mindset. Instead of saying, I'll clear CA, say, I'll finish 2 subjects today. I'll solve one mock test paper this week. Small steps, big results. So now you'll ask me a question like how to define the short term goals clearly. Let's take this deeper. When we talk about the short term goals, they must be specific, measurable, and achievable. I'll give you my example. So, when I was a student, what I used to do is I used to pick up a subject, say FR. I used to make day wise plan. Like in day one, I'll do consolidation. Day two, I'll do financial instruments. Day two, I'll do index of PPE or all the other asset based index. So what I have done, I have broken down all the FR into 15 days. Now, whenever my that chapter is completed, what I'll do, I'll cut that day. I'll cut second day. Now, what happens? CA, as I earlier said, is a marathon. It's not a sprint. When you are at the starting stage and you're seeing your long-term goal is so far, you'll feel very demotivated. But when you are day by day, you are cutting your targets, you'll feel motivated. You'll feel that you have covered 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, 60% of your syllabus. And when you are standing at that 60% point and you see back, you see, I have been into a long journey. It's been just it's now only just 40% of the syllabus that I need to cover. So don't just say I'll complete one revision. That's too broad. Break it down. Subject, chapter, topic, concept. I have given an example of FR. Now let's have an example of audit. Instead of let's say I'll do company audit. You say I'll cover appointment and removal of auditor, revise essay 200 to 299, and solve 10 related MCQs. Now that's a goal you can measure and complete. When you finish that goal, you'll feel accomplished, and that sense of progress keeps your motivation alive. This is the sign of momentum. Tiny wins, when repeated, create unstoppable drives. Always remember, big goals fail because they overwhelm you. Small goals succeed because you move forward. So break every goal into small fights and conquer them one at a time. Now comes to the study blueprint, the daily blueprint, smart study. Now, what I used to do is, what do you plan for your day? Let's create a daily blueprint. Rule number one, study one subject per day. Even that's what I used to do. You can do two subjects per day, but what I feel is when you do one subject consistently, see, you say na ke car's engine take time to get warm. So when you are warming up your engine, it is taking time. And after 3-4 hours, when the engine is totally warmed and it's time to accelerate your speed, at that time you stop that subject and you go into other car. So what my mindset was, I used to study one subject in one day. When you switch
Excuse me,
between multiple, hello,
थोड़ा नॉइस को आपके बैक एंड से आ रही है, थोड़ा ठीक करवाइए इसको.
कॉपी आपको भेज दी इसकी.
okay sir, okay,
बच्चे का आवाज आ रहा था.
okay sir. Hello, hello.
हाँ, yes, please start, sir.
So, so now, what I was saying, the rule number one is you need to study one subject per day. Focus on subject and immerse yourself completely. Now, the most powerful trick that I used to work upon is the 680 approach. What is the 680 approach? In your first 6 hours of the day, no matter when you start studying in the morning, you start studying in night, you start studying in the afternoon. But when you start studying the first 6 hours of the day, complete 80% of your daily target. Now, what is it going to help? Suppose I used to wake up in my CA studies days, I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in a day, and I used to start studying by 6. So after taking some breaks, by 12, I used to cover 60 to 70%. See, I have written here 80%, but obviously when you want to achieve when you want to achieve 60 to 70%, you need to give yourself a target of 80%. So that's the only way you can cover that 60 to 70%. So yes, I used to cover 60 to 70% by 12 o'clock itself. Now I am having the whole day with me, with a motivation that I have so much energy left, so much willpower is there, and I have whole day, so I can easily cover my target for the day. Okay, so I just forgot to mention one thing. Earlier when I said make your short term goals, I said that I used to make the targets for me. Day one I'll do this, day two I'll do this, day three I'll do this. Don't make a mistake by scheduling all your day with the concept between those days. Now, for example, for 4 days I have given my study schedule, I will do this and this. So after fourth day, keep a blocking day, keep a day which is where you have not scheduled anything, which is completely idle, so that you can cover the backlogs which were there for the 4 days. I know it is very difficult. It only happened 40 or 50 times, 50% time that whatever you have planned you achieve. So instead of worrying at the last, keep that idle days in between that schedule. That is going to help you. So yes, coming back on 60 to 80 approach, I was saying in your first 66 hours of the day, complete 80% of your daily target. Because mornings are, because first 6 hours of your day is golden. No distraction, high energy, and your willpower is strongest. So wake up, freshen up, and start early. If you complete your 80% target between that first 6 hours, the rest of the day feels productive and light. Then use your leftover sessions in revision, light reading, or practicing tests. Also include active study techniques. Write, revise, recall. What I was saying, write, revise, recall. Don't just read passively. And once a week, track your progress. Ask yourself, did I move close to my short term goal this week? If yes, celebrate. If not, adjust. But don't stop. Success isn't about being perfect every day. It's about consistent. It's about being consistent most of the days. Next question and the most important thing: which material to follow? In my opinion, ICI study material should be the Bible for every CA student. Let's now address, like, here's the clear answer. Your core foundation must be your ICS own resources. That means ICS study material, mock test paper, revision test paper, past year papers. If you analyze the past 10 years exam, you notice that 70 to 80% of the questions come directly or indirectly from these sources. So if you have mastered these four, you have covered almost everything ICI expects. You can always use summary notes or coaching material for quick revision, but your base must remain the ICI framework. Remember, toppers don't study more books, they study the right books multiple times. So don't be a collector of books. You have seen in the LinkedIn, many people posted their photo with a tall wall of mountains of books. So don't be a collector of books. Be a master of themselves. Now, in the other side, let's now okay, so now many students, what they miss out is, we have discussed the study material in the past slide, we have discussed the daily blueprint, we have discussed that how to defining your short term targets. Now how to matlab, how to self analysis and analyze what are your strength or what are your weakness. Now, what are the study techniques that you should be following to make your study, to make your learning efficiency more productive, more efficient? Let's explore some powerful yet less known tricks that can change your study game. First is the Pomodoro technique. Study for 50 minutes, take a 10 minutes break. After 3 cycles, take a 30-minute break. This prevents burnout and boosts focus. Now, by break, I am not meaning that you should come and scroll your Instagram. You should be calling your friend and ask him how much syllabus you have covered. Sit back, relax, do meditation, go with go out, have a walk, talk with your family. What you can do, go down, drink water, or anything, any sort of this which refreshes your mind, which is not related to CA, which is not related to the screen, which is not related to your studies. So this is the thing that you should do in the breaks. Second thing is active recall. After finishing a topic, close your book and write down what you remember. Don't reread passively, recall actively. That's how memory is built. Spaced repetition. Review notes at increasing interval. One day, then at third day, and seventh day, and 14th day. Apps like Anki or even Excel can help you to schedule your revision. Fourth is mind mapping. Draw visual links between topics. For example, connect audit evidences with sampling. SA 500 and SA 530. One glance and your brain recalls the flow. Now, for example, in intermediate or in final, I don't remember. Yes, in intermediate, at our times, what used to happen in law, there was similar section 139 to 148 in company law, and similarly in audit also there was section 139 to 148. So in both of the subjects this topic used to come for 10 marks. So by studying one thing you are studying the other thing. Similarly you can correlate the topics. Now for example in professional ethics only, you can't do any assignment without having the NOC. That's what clause 6 of the professional ethics says. And similarly, there is a audit evidence for this also. So you should do mind mapping. You should relate the concepts that are there in your CA exams and the CA syllabus. Fifth is teach back method. If you can explain a topic to someone else clearly, you have mastered it. Even teaching your wall or mirror works. I used to do it every time when I was in school. Even now also. Sixth is digital detox rule. Very important. Keep your phone away while studying. One notification can break 20 minutes of focus. Use focus app or lock your phone in another. You know, it is rightly said that nowadays things are very readily available, so competition is there, but yes, resources are there, there is a lot of competition, people are mastering the concepts, but one thing that you don't know, there are still high chances of you being successful because of this 6-inch box. This 6-inch box is a full source of distraction. Don't let it get distracted from your short term as well as long term goals. Then is energy anchoring. Keep a short ritual to signal your brain. It's study time. What I used to do, my father gifted me Alexa. So on Alexa, I said, "Hey Alexa, remind me after every 1 hour 10 minutes to study." Now, for example, after studying for 1 hour, I become a little distracted. The Alexa in the whole house starts saying, "Hey Abhay, it's time to study." Now, till the time I don't tell her to stop, okay, I'm studying, she'll be continuously saying it. So it could be, obviously for me it was Alexa, it could be a cup of coffee, a walk, or listening to focused playlist. Your mind gets trained to enter the zone faster. Each of these techniques doesn't just increase the productivity, they train your discipline muscle, and remember, discipline beats motivation any day. Now, let's talk about the most powerful part, that is the revision. You should at least revise your syllabus 3 times. Remember, each revision will take half the time of your revision revising one.
ये फर्स्ट सेकंड वाले कहाँ हैं? फर्स्ट सेकंड वाले
अनम्यूट कर लीजिए अभय जी।
इधर होगा।
हेलो। हेलो, आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर, अनम्यूट करिए।
Hello. Yes,
हाँ
yes.
जी, आ गई।
So I was there that when you are revising in the next sense of revision, you will be taking half of the time of the revision that you took last time. For example, when you did the subject for the first time, you will take 20 days. In the second, it will take 10 days. In the third, it will take 5 days. And obviously, you have to study with the approach that you have to perform everything in the 1.5 days itself. So plan your revision. First revision should be full syllabus. Second revision, along with the full syllabus, you should do important topics and past paper trends. The third should be a very quick review plus MTP and RTP. By the third revision, you start seeing the patterns in ICI's question. That's when the confidence replaces fear. So uh, I think this would be enough. And if I could summarize it, so CA is not just an exam; it's a test of your character. Uh, it teaches you patience, focus, and resilience. Don't compare your journey with others. Everyone's pace is different. Your only competition is a version of you from yesterday. You don't need to study 18 hours a day. You just need 8 to 10 hours of honest, focused efforts because consistency beats talent every single time. So, we close today, and I want you to remember these three golden rules. Don't chase perfection, chase progress. Don't change direction, build consistency. Don't fear from the syllabus, build it into different victories. Because the road may be long. It might get tough, but when you finally see your name on the pass list, when those two magical letters C appears before your name, you'll realize every single hour, every single sacrifice, every revision was worth it. This journey will test you, it will push you, but it will also transform you. So let's promise ourselves we'll not give up, we'll not stop, we'll always move forward step by step, day by day, revision by revision until we achieve that one long term goal. Because this is not just a course, this is a mission. Mission consistency. So, by this, I would like to conclude my session. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ICI, for giving me this opportunity for presenting in front of the students. So, yes, sir. So, if we have any
Hello.
questions, sir, we can go for it.
We'll have the question for on behalf of the students.
Yes.
So one question is, what are the main sources of exam stress for you? Fear of failure, time pressure, or comparison with others?
As I discussed in the presentation, the three things that you have discussed, all are the sources of the stress uh, for a CA student. Even if sir, if you can repeat what were the three things, it was comparison with the peers.
Fear of failure, time pressure, or comparison with others?
So comparison, or obviously these three things that you have discussed, they cannot be eroded from a CA student's journey. Obviously, there is a fear of failure. There is a pressure from the students, and there is a shortage of time thing. These three things cannot be eroded. All three things, they build up, they combiningly build a pressure on a student. But how to approach it, as I discussed, there are solutions for the same. See, every lock has a key. Similarly, every problem has a solution.
Pencil, rubber.
So,
Yes.
question is second is, how does your mindset change as exam approach? And what thoughts usually trigger anxiety?
Means you are participating all that instrument.
So how my approach changes when the exam comes. So before the 5 to 6 months of my exam, when I am going on a study leave, my approach will be I should cover the entire syllabus. I should cover each and every concept. I I have the time to experiment at that time. But when the exam comes,
And before that,
what I need to do is I need to shorten my material. I need to lock my material. I don't need to learn anything new. I can't do experiments with myself. Now, when I start my preparation, I have a tendency, okay, let's do it tomorrow. That approach with time will reduce. Third thing is you go with the mock test papers. You go out, you sit in an exam environment, and you start preparing like as if you are studying in you are giving exam in CA. Fourth and the most important thing, most important change, what I feel is when you start studying, it doesn't matter you are studying in night, you are studying in day, you are studying in the early morning, but when the exam approaches, your body should be very good with the time of 2 p.m. to 5 p.m, because that's the time when you are going to study in the CA exam. Now most of the people, what do they so the early birds or the late owls, what they do is they used to study in the study early in the day or late in the night, but what happens is they sleep in between that 2 to 5. But after, when you are approaching to the exam, you have to be very efficient in that particular 3 hours. So we need to be very efficient, very effective in those 3 hours. So that's the main approach thing that changes.
So there is a query of the student also that there is a noise behind you of the children. So they are
Really,
not
really, really sorry for
listening
the
to you.
noise, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
the next question: can you recall a time when stress helped you perform better rather than worse?
Every time it was always in my mindset, because I knew taking stress and just going to sitting on my bed or just crying won't help me work. If I was having a stress, yes, I have cried a lot of time, but who, whom do we go when we are in stress? There are two people. For me, there are two people. Either they are my parents or there's the God's room in my home. So these were the two. What I used to do is I used to express my anxiety. I used to express why I am stressed. And within 5 minutes, everything got clear. Now, for example, this glass is having a storage of 200 ml. Now, if you are pouring the water in it, the water will pour out from it. Similarly, the stress and the worry, there is a capacity of storage of that worries or stress in our heart. When you are putting more and more and more worries in that heart, it will burst out someday. So instead of bursting it out, express it to your near and dear ones. It will always make you feel relaxed and you will overcome that exam.
So now time is to conclude this session. Thank you so much, yeah, Abhijit ji, for this session on fearless focus, tackling exam stress with confidence. To all our participants, thank you for your presence and enthusiastic engagement today. We hope this session will assist in positive manner on the topic. Let us continue the spirit of learning as part of Run at the Rate 100 webinar series and take every opportunity to grow as future ready CA professionals. Until next time, take care and keep learning, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir,
all.
and really sorry for the noise. I hope I could do the justice, but really sorry for the noise. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Now we can leave the meeting, sir.